have a warm welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning. I'm the senior taster of Whisky.com, and today we taste the Glenfarclas, 10 years of age, 40% ABV, uncolored, and here at Whisky.com in Central Europe, 34 €99, plus a little bit if the alcohol tax is a little bit higher in your country. I tasted that whiskey already 3 times, so now it's the 4th time. 12 years ago, 6 years ago, and 3 years ago, together with my son. But we did a battle against a different single malt whiskey from the Highlands, which I do not want to mention here, because this is today just Glenfarclas. Glenfarclas is a privately owned company, grown a lot, not that small, but they have a longer time horizon. They think longer. They do not go with the boom and bust cycles. They produce and they sell. And if, well, sales are not that good, they still produce. So they have a constant inflow of whiskey in their warehouses, and they can take out a constant amount of whiskeys. So they have aged whiskeys, well, from sometimes you find an 8-year-old, but the 10-year-old is the entry malt, and then going up to 30 years, which is most often available, 40 years, which is a little bit rare, and 50 years, very seldom to find. Yeah. Most of the whiskey from Glenfarclas is sold with an age statement. There are some whiskies out there from Glenfarclas, but I think they are, well, special bottlings which do not carry an age statement for some reason. But this is constant, and this is what really is important at Glenfarclas, and they are not coloring. Have a look at this 10-year-old whiskey. You can see it's very good colored, and this is due to the sherry cask they use. And sherry cask, of course, not only first fill, there's a big amount of refill sherry casks used for that. And it's sad that there are ex-bourbon casks used as well for the not that expensive malts. The pot stills of Glenfarclas are directly fired, so they have a fire from below. In former times that had been coal, and today it's natural gas, and therefore they need a rummager turning around to avoid the baking of the peels of the malt at the wall as you're cooking some meal on your stove, and you have to move your stick in the pot to do not let the whatever you have cook on the inside. So you need this rummager, and this rummager carves over the wall, and there's always a little bit of copper moved off, so the pot stills are twice as thick as normal pot stills, which are heated with steam, hot steam, and therefore you have more contact of the whiskey with that copper. Well, the copper wore from the walls. Yeah, this more intense contact with the copper leads to a more catalytic conversion of the taste compounds in the whiskey, so that you have a more intense maturation of the whiskey, or not maturation, conversion away from the sharp, unwanted substances to the more gentle, more friendly substances. So there it's important that you have this direct fire stills. On the other hand, direct fire stills tend to be complicated in the heating process. So from time to time you get more intensity in the whiskey due to that heating. So it's quite complicated, but the whiskey in result is different than a whiskey from an indirectly fired still. The label on the bottle is old. They do not change it very often. I'm not aware of a change of this label, the front label over the last 30 years. The back label, well, it changes due to legal reasons, but they do not change it. The tube is the same as well. And I like that these bottles have no color, that they are clear, glass clear. And therefore you can see this uncolored whiskey in its real appearance. When the Glenfarclas are older, the older expressions, they then have a dark brown color in the glass. Yeah, to sherry, to give it a more enigma appearance, something like this. And here we go. Sherry, definitely a sherry tone, but not overwhelming. The sherry is not that strong, but it's there, definitely. And beside that, you find the typical maltiness of a single malt whiskey and beginning spiciness. So this is straightforward, wonderfully sherry fruitiness with a hint of sherry sweetness, maltiness, upcoming spiciness from the wood, and an aromatic hint, probably from the oak. Yeah. Cheers. Taste in the start, light, malty, a little sweet, and then flipping over to spiciness, to oakiness. A little citrus aroma comes through. That is due to the distillery character from Glenfarclas. A little bit vanilla in the background, just in the background. And the spiciness is a little bit more intense than with the older Glenfarclas. Might be, not quite sure. And this could be from the rumager, from the direct fired stills. That is a little bit more intense, and that this vanishes with the longer maturation, with the normal, with the older Glenfarclas expressions. The aftertaste is reducing. It's mid-long. It's reducing quite fast. No, it's the wrong word. It reduces in a medium way, and in the aftertaste there is a little bit of dryness, a little bit of dried fruits. And yeah, there's more if the whiskey is older. So 12-year-old, 15-year-old. The aftertaste is much longer than this one. So this is more gentle, more friendly to the novice connoisseur. Yeah. And exactly that way, I remember the whiskey from the three tastings I had before. I think the spiciness, the attacking spiciness, is less than the last one and the time before. Yeah, I think it is no longer that harsh. But it's a problem to remember tastes over a very long time. So my brain changes the remembrance of the taste over the years. I'm learning from whiskey to whiskey, from video to video. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come.